Welcome, Business 101 students, fall 22, right? Hopefully you're having if this is your first semester at EC3PA, welcome. I hope you are having a good semester. I know we had some Blackboard issues last week, right? I also fell prey to that as well. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew you had a little bit of extra time to get those for that your homework assignments done for the week, chapters 3 and 4. So this week, we are going to be moving on to chapters 5 and 6 from the Business 10 textbook. So chapter 5 is all about business communication. So Business Comm is actually a course here at EC3 and that you can take on all the different ups and downs of business communication. Now, for this week, chapter 5, in your text, it's a fairly short chapter, but it does touch on a lot of the different communication channels, tips for better listening, explains the importance of excellence in business communication, like what looks like excellent business communication and what doesn't, key elements of nonverbal communication. The text has you compare, contrast, and choose effective communication channels. So just get your feet wet doing that. Choose the right words for effective communication. Write more effective business memos, letters, and emails. And then finally, create and deliver successful verbal presentations, right? So this chapter is fairly short. As all the chapters are, they're very streamlined. 10 tips for an excellent email. So there's a lot of juicy things in this chapter that help you communicate better in the workplace. That's chapter 5. Let's see. Next, I have chapter 6, right? So chapter 6 gets into a little bit different area, but chapter 6 this week is business formation, choosing the form that fits. Again, this one-on-one class kind of touches on all these different topic areas, basically, that you will cover in the business realm. So chapter 6, business formation. I do have, on chapter 6, I have a brief video for you there if you want to watch that first. It really is a nice summation of chapter 6. And I'm trying to find chapter 6 here in my text as I'm holding it. Okay. So I would say view that video next. So you'll see that video link, types of business formation. And really, it's written by an accountant. So it talks a little bit about some of the tax documents that are relative to each one. Again, in the business formation sector, we're looking at sole proprietorships. We're looking at partnerships, general partnerships, corporations, and limited liability. We're going to talk all about those things. That's what you're going to read about in chapter 6. Characteristics of the 4 basic forms of business ownership, right? You'll learn about those. You'll learn about advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship, right? A lot of businesses start as a sole proprietorship, but they have unlimited liability then. And so what that means is that if you own a business, if it's a little barber shop and somebody slips and falls walking into it, if you have a sole proprietorship and you do not have a limited liability company, right, which you can do, you can turn that sole proprietorship into a limited liability through some attorney work and documentation. So I would always recommend that to my small business owners. Even if you have a rental property or 2, I would say incorporate, right, so that you are able to deflect some of the liability away from yourself as a sole proprietorship. However, for tax reasons, sole proprietorships, it's just all your own money and it's all one thing, right? So I know the video for the week also talks a little bit about the the pros and cons of sole proprietorship. What else? Corporations, limited liability corporations are popular, and advantages and disadvantages of franchising. Now, in this chapter, there is a nice, I know there is a chart in this chapter, talking a little bit about different types of businesses, right? It also talks about mergers and acquisitions and a little bit about franchising. So make sure that you go through and you look through the different types of businesses, right? That's chapter 6. And So then you are going to, I have 2 homework assignments, Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. They each have their own homework assignment. So make sure that you complete those for next week and you email those to me in a email directly to me, crobertson@ec3pa.org. And then this week we also have a discussion question. And so this week, for your discussion post relating to Chapter 6, a typical partnership agreement spells out details such as the initial financial contribution each partner will make, specific duties and responsibilities each will then assume, how they share the profits and losses, how they'll settle disagreements, how they deal with death or withdrawal of one of the partners. So a well-written agreement can prevent common misunderstandings. Do a little research on the internet and create a checklist regarding the steps, forms, and fees needed to establish a general partnership in your state. You may see, explore what's required for naming the partnership, what could be covered in the partnership agreement, and then also the steps needed to register for tax purposes at the state and federal level. So when you review this discussion, really what I'm looking for, you can give it, I have in here minimum 2 to 3 sentences, but if you really want to do it in some bullet points, talking about the steps for Pennsylvania, how do you form a partnership, right? What is required of you? And then also from the state and federal, what things do you need for tax purposes? Now, you may not hit all of these, right? But give me 2 to 3 sentences or give me some bullet points. I just want you to get used to, looking up things relating to business formation and finding out how to do that. So if you maybe are auditing a business, maybe you're starting a business, or just understanding how businesses are moving from maybe a sole proprietorship into something that's a limited liability. Just kind of getting a little bit familiar with that on the internet. So that is your discussion question. Let's see what else I have for you. And that will be due next week as well. So chapters 5 and 6 from the text, and then review those PowerPoints. I have a video that relates to chapter 6, and there are a homework assignment for each chapter 5 and 6, and a discussion post due this week. So as always, I am on campus actually on Wednesdays, typically midday. I'm hoping to have your grade book. So if you want to see me, on campus, let me know. Or we can meet via Zoom if you would like to do that. Or we can email back and forth, text back and forth, whatever you like. 814-490-6473 or my email, crobertson@ec3pa.org. Let's see what else. Oh, homework. And all graded assignments so far. If you're turning in your homework and you did the discussion post, you will have full credit. So if you turned in your homework and I sent you back an email that I received your homework and you did at least the minimal amount, right? Again, the more you put into your homework, the more you get out of it, because these topics, you're going to see them revisited in different courses throughout your career here at EC3PA or at any school. If you plan to go into a 4-year degree, if you plan to start a business, whatever it is you want to do, you're going to see these topics. So the better you can digest them, the better it is for you. All right, so, homework. I'm going to try and get all that homework page set up for you and have so you can see your graded homework assignments in there that you've gotten those turned in. Hopefully by the end of the day today, if not, hopefully by midday tomorrow. So hang in there and look for those. Thank you for being patient. And I will touch base with you later in the week to circle back around and see that you are okay working on the items for this week's assignments. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I will talk with all of you later.